Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Fatma Vera. Today we're gonna analyze The Signalman by Charles Dickens. You should first read the story because we will not read whole story, we will just analyze. Okay, the short story by the English writer Charles Dickens. In the story, a practical-minded narrator meets a railway worker who has been seeing supernatural visions. The narrator doubts the man at first, but at the story's conclusion, a strange event makes him a believer. Let's look at the setting. The entirety of the Signalman takes place in a narrow gorge through which passes the railway line. At one end of the gorge is a dark tunnel from which trains emerge. Farther up the line is the hut where the signalmen up and down the line warn the engineers of trains if there is some danger ahead on the tracks. And then let's look at the principal characters. The story has only three principal characters: the narrator, the signalman, and the ghost. The narrator. The story doesn't provide a great deal of biographical information about the narrator, but we know that he is intelligent and friendly, and also that he is very practical minded. Whenever the signalman mentions some supernatural detail, the narrator thinks of a realistic explanation for it. The signalman. He is a late to middle-aged individual who works alone. It's important detail, alone, in the narrow gorge. His age and solitude contribute to the narrator's skepticism about his supernatural visions. The ghost. As with many Charles Dickens stories, this one has a ghost. The ghost appears to the signalman, and only the signalman, at the mouth of the tunnel and waves his arm as if to warn the signalman to get out of the way of something. The summary. The story has a simple plot. It opens with the narrator who for unexplained reasons has chosen to pay a visit to the signalman whom he doesn't know, standing at the edge of the rail gorge, shouting down to the signalman in his hut. The words he shouts twice are, "Hello below there, hello below there." While that seems like a simple enough greeting, it winds up carrying significance. These very words, we discover later, have been shouted to the signalman by the ghost he has been seeing. Because of this, the narrator receives a cold welcome when he hikes down and greets the man. The narrator and the signalman eventually become friendly though, and spend some time talking about the signalman's life. By the second visit, the signalman feels comfortable enough with the narrator to confide him that he has been seeing a ghost. What the ghost does, the signalman explains, is appear at the mouth of the train tunnel and shout to him in the same words the narrator used at the story's beginning, and then waves his arm as if to indicate that the signalman should get out of the way. This on its own is not very creepy, but then the signalman explains that after each appearance of the ghost, some tragedy has occurred. First, there was a railway accident that killed or injured a number of people. Then a woman on a train died suddenly with no explanation. Is important, by the way. But what really terrifies the signalman is that the ghost now has appeared a third time, and he doesn't know what tragic things is about to happen. While the signalman relates this story, the narrator listens intently but skeptically. He likes the signalman and wants to believe him, but the narrator at heart is practical, realistic person. He doesn't believe in ghosts. Instead, he thinks the signalman is hallucinating. Yeah, that's all. Let's look at the themes. I'm sorry, by the way, let's summarize the events. Firstly, the narrator, stranger, and then the signalman met. Second, they became friends and the signalman talked about the ghost. Thirdly, the signalman dies. Fourthly, the narrator began to believe in the existence of the ghost. Yes, next, the themes. Themes are responsibility of duty and responsibility and good. In The Signalman, an unnamed narrator strikes up an acquaintanceship with a railroad signalman whose job is to monitor trains passing through a station. Although the narrator is impressed by the signalman's commitment to keeping people safe, the signalman feels guilty about accidents that have occurred on his watch. Even though these tragedies were seemingly random, he feels somehow responsible for them. Later, when a passing train hits and kills the signalman, the narrator questions whether he himself responsible for the signalman's death. By leaving the consequences of the character's actions unclear, Dickens questions the extent to which anyone can shoulder responsibility for another person's well-being, and actually, the story seems to suggest that it's impossible to take full responsibility for other people's lives, and that doing so only leads to inevitable failure and guilt. At the beginning of the story, the signalman seemingly has a clear-cut duty to keep train conductors and passengers safe. Yeah, that's all. Okay, guys, the questions are: what elements in it make The Signalman a good Gothic story? What are the elements in it that are Gothic in nature? This ghost story of Charles Dickens has many of the elements of the Gothic tale, but there's some list actually. First of all, an atmosphere of the mystery and suspense, and second, fear and panic enchained by an unknown feeling of threat. Thirdly, ominous happening visions, portentous events. Fourthly, inexplicable or supernatural events. And the last one is high emotion. Characters overcome by terror and feelings of impending. Yes, that's all. And thanks for listening, guys. Take care of yourself and bye bye.